Hey guys, can you hear me? Hey, so sorry about us. I apologize for the hiccup. I had some issues with streaming. Okay, welcome to Vantage Markets. Today we'll be learning about trendline and channel strategies. My name is Chen Yongjing, and I will be your host for today. Well, before we start, we have a disclaimer. The information, context, opinions which are expressed in the presentation and on the following slides are solely those of the presenter and not necessarily those of Vantage, and are solely used for educational purposes as they do not constitute investment advice or consultation on how a client should trade. Vantage does not guarantee the accuracy or reliability of the information provided. Okay, so we have the risk warning. Trading margin forex and CFDs carry significant risk and is not suitable for all investors. You can lose your initial investment. Okay, we have the disclaimer. Okay, let's carry on. Introducing the analysis. First, we have Desmond. He is our chief trader. Next, we have Cassandra. She is our prop trader. And then it's me, Chen Yongjing. I'm the trade analyst for the company. Okay, we are also the finalists for the Best Forex Research 2019, 2020, and 2021. We are also the finalists for Best Equity Research for 2020 and 2021. Okay, let's move on. Okay, we'll be covering these few topics today. What are trend lines? How do you use trend lines effectively? What time frame do you use trend line on? How do you use channels? And we can put together on a live chart later on into a strategy. So, what are trend lines? You guys know how to draw trend lines? Yes, please do let me know if you know how to draw a trend line. Okay, so let me get our circle. So this is a trend line. How do we use the trend line effectively? A trend line needs a minimum of at least 3 touches. 3 touches, 1 touch, sorry, 1 touch. Let me get it transparent. Shape fill, no fill. Okay, so we have at least 1 touch. 2 touch. Oh, sorry. I should copy this instead. 2 touch. 3 touch. And then here we have a very nice 5 touch trend line. So minimally, we must have at least 3 touches for an effective trend line. Also, the higher the time frame is, the stronger the trend line is. We can go to a live chart later, and then we can discuss some ideas on the market today and how to use the trend line and channels. So, many people like to ask, should we use a trend line with wick or no wick? With a wick, right, we are drawing it. Okay, shape fill. Okay, no fill. So, if this is a no wick. Wait, I have to show you guys there's 3 touches. 3 touches. Touch. 3 touches. This we are drawing by the wick. So when using the body of the candle, we have more touches. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's actually no right or wrong on whether you should use the wick or the body of the candle. Well, just find the line which is the best fit line. You don't have much, later I'll show you on the chart, not much breakouts. The candles fit perfectly, nicely. Not much wicks coming out, it's fine. Well, you can actually use both also for a better confluence with your trend line. You can actually use both at once. So what time frame do we use the trend line on? So when we are using the trend lines, we usually use top-down analysis. Top-down analysis is we find a large trend on the larger 1 hour, 4 hours, monthly, or even a weekly trend line. The trend lines are very, very powerful on the 4 hours, daily, weekly, and monthly. So if there's a breakout, you do expect price to continue upwards or downwards. So how do we use channels? A channel, we can have a bearish or a bullish channel. Let me type out bearish or bullish channel. Okay, so right here, what we have is a bearish channel where there's actually, also sorry, there are two touches. Okay, supposedly you're supposed to have a touch here, shape fill, no fill, another touch here, a touch here, and another touch here. We have 4 touches, 2 top, 2 bottom. I personally actually use it also in my trading. It kinds of tell me the overall trend, whether it's bearish or bullish. And also, I do not trade against the trend. So if it's a bearish trend like these charts, I will not look for a buy. I'll follow the trend, let the price retrace back up before I go for a sell. Let price retrace back up, take your time, and use your confirmation on the lower time frame to enter the sell within the channel. Okay, let's move on. Putting them into a strategy. Well, we can actually combine them using trend line and a channel at the very same time for a better confluence. Better confluence. Okay, let me change the sharing. I'll move on to trading view where we can start doing this live on the charts. If you guys have any currencies that you would like me to focus on, do let me know in the chat. Do let me know. We can take a look. Chat. Okay, let's move to the chat. To USD. Okay, let me change the slide. Change to okay. Okay. So here, it's new share. Okay, as you guys can see, my chart is, I was doing some kind of analysis earlier. So as you can see, I'm actually using smart money concepts, my personal trading method, smart money concepts. But for the purpose of this webinar, we will be focusing on the trend lines and channels and how to implement them. So let me change the layout. Give me a moment, guys. Layout. Okay. Okay. Let's get this out for hours. Okay. Okay, so we have a nice chart with the grids removed. Remove the grids. Okay, where's appearance? I set the grids to white, none, opacity, none. So we have a nice clean chart. Okay, let me turn on. This way is mine. Okay. So sorry about that. Okay. Next, let's start drawing the trend lines. Let's start on that. Okay. Sorry, I'm having some issues with the computer. Give me a short moment. Can you apply it? Okay, I just saw your question. Can you apply it for DXY? Thank you. Sure, I will go to DXY and do it. Okay, let's try to find. Okay, we are currently on the 4 hours chart. 4 hours chart. Let's take a look. So to use a channel, we have this, which is under from the top 1, 2, 3, go down to, so sorry, I'm finding it at the moment. Yes, fifth channel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 channels. Okay, got it. It's right here. Okay, let's find a nice trend. Okay, right now I'm currently looking back. So this is it. This is one way that you can actually apply it on DXY. Let me draw it with a best fit line. Best fit line. Okay, adjust it properly. So what you get, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, top, bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you should have at least 2 touches, top and bottom of your channel. So let's draw these two on using a trend line to add confluence together. So can get a trend line. Let me remove this. Get a trend line, draw this up. As long as it's a best fit line. Best fit line. Okay, so we have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, and 4 touches. Okay, so let's continue. Trend line. Okay, we can move on. Let me check my slides, what we are going on next. Okay, we will be going to the break and retest strategy. Break and retest strategy. That's what we are on now. Share my screen. Okay, break and retest. So this, as you can see on the chart, this is a classic. Oh, my bad. It's a classic trend line, ascending trend line. So what we can do is we wait for price to break below the trend line, and then we enter the sell on the retest, sell here, with our stop loss at the top of the entire thing. Stop loss at the top. But the cons about this is I personally tried it during my first year of trading, and it did not work that well for me. I'll have times where it worked very well, and sometimes it will go the other way, and I do not really understand why. It's actually very, very subjective. Trend line is very subjective. So if you use it, please use it on the higher time frame. It's stronger there. Please don't, I advise you guys not to use it on the 5 minutes and 1 minute charts. Okay, so let's go on to the live chart regarding the break and retest strategy. Let us see whether we can find any of those recently. Share. Okay. So let's take a look on euro dollar. Euro dollar on the 4 hours chart. Let's find something on the 1 hour intraday. Do you guys trade intraday? Or do you guys hold your position for a few days doing some swings? Okay, let's do it. Well, let's look. There seems to be some sort of trend line here. Seems to be something here. Price went up. Broke. Okay, you guys saw it. Price broke the trend line. Went back up for a retest. As I was mentioning, trend lines are stronger on the larger time frame. So try to draw it out on the 1 hour and above for a better confluence to your trade. So you guys saw price broke out, reversed back up. Then I would have an entry here, back up to the line somewhere here, my entry, stop loss at the very top, and price has cleared the previous low. If you are taking such a trade, do remember to take some partial profits or if not have your take profit below a previous swing low. A previous swing low. This is a swing low, and this is a swing high. This is a minor swing high. So we actually create the swing low. Let me find more on the charts that we can do. Okay, maybe there's something here. Maybe there is something here. 5 minutes, starting. 1, 2, 3. Okay, maybe here. 1, 2 touch, 3 touch. So we find a best fit line. A best fit line. So I can actually draw from the body. I'll show you guys in a bit. I'm drawing from the wick now. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, and price broke. So we have a nice trend line. Just remember, 3 touches minimum. Let me make it big. 3 touches minimum. So price broke down, went back up, where you could potentially have your entry. Let me show you now why. Okay, give me a moment. Let me show you an entry, but why it's also very, very subjective to use a trend line. You can place a line anywhere on the chart and the candle can somehow tap. Okay, I just saw another. I'm still learning. I still learn trading to increase my. Okay, I'm reading someone's comments. Okay, I still learn trading to increase my experience to overcome past few months of challenges. For this week with possible recession fear, I just watch. I hope trendline setup can still work. What do you think? Okay, please also use fundamentals. I will type it out in chat. Please use fundamentals too. A trend line has to work with other things too. You do not just use a trend line alone. So please watch out for the news on Forex Factory. If there are any important news, please do not trade off just the trend line. Please read the news too. I used to use trend line personally back then. I started trading, I think 3 years ago. I was doing trend lines, and I've moved on since then. I'm now using smart money concepts. So let me show you the cons of using a trend line. It's very, very subjective. Everyone draw a trend line differently. Let's say one person draws like this, another person draws this way, they draw this way. I can draw it as many ways as I can. And the line somehow still meets, somehow it still works. It's very subjective. Everyone draws a trend line differently. But at the end of the day, you can draw multiple ones to get your confluence right. Okay, so this is an invalid one. There's only 2 touches, not valid. Price broke, but it's not valid. So please do not just use a trend line alone. Okay, so let's draw on the body. You can actually draw on the body. Let's find the best fits on the next body, and up. So even if I'm drawing on the body of the candle, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches. If you guys have any questions regarding trendline trading, please do ask me in the chats. I'll try my very best to answer them for you. Okay, price retrace back up. Tapped. Stop loss above. And it went all the way down. As usual, please remember to take partial profits below the previous swing low. It's a strong area. Price could actually potentially went back down, and it bounced off the previous swing low. Okay, moving on. Moving on. By the way, what challenges are you facing? So will you kindly introduce more overview lessons for smart money tech analysis? Sure, I will do that. But first, I will do some more trend lines. Trend lines. Okay. Oh yes, by the way, trend lines do work and help with my smart money concept confluence. I just draw it, but then I don't leave it on the charts. It's just to get my confluence right for my direction on the charts. Okay. So let me check the slides. What is next? Okay, next we have the triangle strategy. A triangle strategy. And take a look. Just now we were looking at this Euro USD sell. We can draw another line. Triangles, people like to draw triangles for breakouts, ascending wedge, descending wedge. Okay, as usual, we have one touch, two touch, three touches, the breakout. This is a very classic type of breakout that used to make me lose money in my trading. Oh, Victor Bonafide, thank you. That's good. Yes, thank you. Look at this. Okay, let me set this to default. Look at this. Imagine if I actually took a trade here. Price broke out of my triangle. I have my stop loss below, and I may be expecting to take profit somewhere up here, somewhere, maybe somewhere here, there's a take profit zone that I'm looking to long. But the issue is price continues, goes down and hit my stop loss. So this is one of the very big cons of just using a trend line. There are other factors in play on why price actually reversed down. So for you guys, you would like to call it a false breakout. Oh, a false breakout caused me to lose money. Yes, but please check on fundamentals too and other things that can influence your long position. Also, it's very important to know which part of the market you are currently in. So let's say, okay, please read up on let me type it out in chats. Please read up on Wyckoff and SM Wyckoff for the accumulation and distribution on the charts. This is a bit technical. For accumulation, we are expecting price to continue moving bullish. Price to continue bullish. So if we know that we are currently in an accumulation / markup, we do not try to sell. We will continue buying using our own personal analysis, personal trading ways, how to enter. But if the price, as we can see, it was currently in a downtrend, market has broken structure multiple times, we do not try to long. Market broken structure, what do I mean? Price has broken multiple structures, has broken all the way. So that's a easier way to identify whether a market is distributing. So if the market is distributing, the market is distributing, like this area, market is distributing, please do not try to long. Follow the trend of the markets. Okay. In the future weeks, I would love to know those sessions. Thank you so much. Okay. I would love to share about this, about smart money, but I'm not too sure whether Vantage will be keen on that. If there is, I'm sure you can find it on Vantage websites under Forex webinars. Okay. Personally, I think channel trend line, I'm reading someone's comments. Personally, I think channel trend line mostly turns stronger in day, weekly time frame. Otherwise, these triangles also caught me more in the intraday movement. Is it more or less right? Okay. To answer your first line, you think that trend line mostly turns stronger in day, weekly, time frame? Well, it's actually stronger. It's way, way stronger on the daily. Let's go to the daily on Euro USD. Let's take a look. Okay, so we have a trend line here. Let's draw it from the body. Okay, best fit. As usual, must let you guys know, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches. In fact, we have multiple touches here. But the thing is, once price has broken out from this area, price has broken out, there's usually no retest on the larger time frame. Price just continue bearish all the way. Let's find a bullish scenario. A bullish scenario. Let's take a look. Okay, this can be used as an example. This is on the daily. We have to use a few touches. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. Okay. It's very, very strong on the daily. Broke out. Okay, this is 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch. Price broke out. Came back down for a retest of the trend line. Retest of the trend line. We can potentially long here. Stop loss below, but then on the daily, it's not realistic, right? It's not that realistic. You have a very huge stop loss. How big is this stop loss? It's like 172 pips. It's a bit too much. I wouldn't do this because in the long run, especially now, there is the Russian war, all kind of news coming in. There are many known unknowns. I type it out in the chat. There are many known unknowns right now in the world. Known unknowns. So let's say right now, example of known unknowns. It might change the way you think when it comes to news. So tonight we have let's say at 8:30, okay, 8:30 p.m. Singapore time, 8:30 a.m. New York time, there is there is a core durable goods orders, durable goods orders. We already know that the news is coming out. All of us know it. We can go Forex Factory, anywhere else, Financial Juice, any kind of websites. We will know that the news is coming out. But what we don't know is the actual result. So let's say 1 hour before the news, you have a long or a short position running. But the news is very important. To me, it's as good as I'm betting on the news. I cannot predict. I do not know if the news will be good or bad, where it will actually affect me to hit my stop loss, or the news turns into my favor for a nice profit. I try to avoid news. If there are news, I stay clear of it. 1 to 2 hours before, I'm out of the market. I'll do other things, get a hobby, study, you can do anything else. But for me personally, I do not trade the news. Known unknowns. Okay, as you were saying in the comments, these triangles also caught me more in the intraday movement. Is it more or less? Right. Please clarify, what do you mean caught you in the intraday movement, as in 15 minutes time frame or 5 minutes time frame? Do you mean 15 minutes? 15 minutes time frame? Okay. There are many false breakouts right now if I'm using a retail method of trading. Okay, as you can see live, this is on the 15 minutes chart on euro dollar. Confirm this. 1 touch, my bad. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, 5 touch. So we can officially confirm there is some sort of trend, but then there is a breakout. So right now, I wouldn't recommend it, but on a retail perspective, some of my friends actually still use Trendline. So what I see that they do, they might have a buy order somewhere, stop loss below here or here, and or the way up somewhere. But the huge issue is when it comes to smart money concepts, there is so much, the candle is so long, there's so much spaces to be filled. It's not filled yet. There's so much market imbalance. The candles are imbalanced. So I would be cautious if I were you guys, if you guys would want to take a trade like that. Market imbalance, it's very, very important. Okay, so this might be a potential setup. Just might, who knows? Who knows, it might be a potential setup. Who knows, maybe stop loss somewhere up here, who knows? I'm just drawing. It's just an analysis. This is not a signal. This is not a signal. It's just a trade analysis. So if this goes right, it might be a 1 to 1.84 risk to reward. Okay, this is for euro dollar. But right now, I wouldn't be buying euro dollar. There is the Russian news, the Russian war news. I'm expecting euro dollar to be bearish. So, okay, let's go on a smaller time frame. Another way we could have got the trade today. A possible way. Let's go back. Today I'm pretty busy, so I don't have much time on the charts earlier. Okay, I have let me get a day indicator. Okay. So the day started around here, 7 a.m. New York. 7. Okay. Price went up. So trend line. You want a best fit trend line. Okay, so we have our first trend line. As usual, 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch. But let's go down to the smaller time frame on the 5 minutes. Let's see what is going on. We can have more data. So let's say you saw this breakout. Let's say you saw this breakout. Okay. Just remember, look to your left. There might be some kind of points of interest that might have affected this rejection. This is on the M15 charts. So let's go down. Price broke out. So let's say we took a retest. We immediately took the retest trade, a short. Let's say we actually shorted here. Who knows? Stop loss above. If you entered there, you would have been in take profits. Maybe at the bottom, who knows? The previous swing go. Who knows that some of you guys might have already sold. Previous swing low, possible take profit area. Okay, so if you actually sold it here on the retest, you would have been in a minor loss. Stop loss above. Unfortunately, okay, let me read the comments first. Unfortunately, triangles in intraday caught me to SL. Maybe I need to improve my trend line structure. Okay, for trading trend lines, I have friends who do that, but they focus mainly on the 1 hour charts. 1 hour. So their entries are actually only on the 1 hour or minimum 30 minutes. And they are usually swing traders. Okay, not going to lie. If I actually entered here and then my stop loss was up there, I would have been psychologically affected and might have closed my trade up here because it's way too high up. I would rather close early, cut my losses instead of the full stop loss. So let's say this is actually called trade management. I usually risk 1%. 1% risk on my account. So let's say I close out my trade here earlier. Let's say I close it out here. Just to manage risk in case price shoots all the way up and clears my stop loss. By closing early here, Instead of risking the entire 1%, I would have been risking 0.5% loss, 0.5 risk loss, instead of the full 1%. Risk management is important. Just remember, if you have a trade running and then in your mind you have already psychologically you have already thought, hey, my trade is going to hit stop loss, why not just let it hit? But if you have the thought of letting the trade hit stop loss, why not you close it now? Just reduce your risk, just close it. If you have that thought, that means your trade is not going right. Just close it. If you have that thought, it reduces your risk, especially on a very big account. On a big account, I would never ever let my trade hit the full stop loss. So you want to improve your trend line structure. Let's go to the hourly and see what's up. Maybe we can avoid some of that losses of yours. On the hour. Okay, on the hour, we can see there is an hourly trend line. In fact, it's quite strong. It's pretty strong. I'm drawing on the body as usual. This is on the 1 hour chart. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, 5 touch. It's a very, very strong area. But if price manages to break out, it's possible that you guys can start to look for a long. This is not a signal, just an idea on the trade analysis of euro dollar. So let's say price goes up, it's possible price comes down to retest, and then we take that long. We never know. We never know. It is possible. As usual. Okay. When intraday caught you to SL, what time frame did you use? I'm quite interested to test it out to see what might have gone wrong. Please do not go on the 1 minute. If you are on the 1 minute, please, I advise you guys not to do that. On the 1 minute, you can look. Let me draw a channel, a random channel. Price goes here, taps. Then price goes down. Oh my God. Let me change this to a bullish channel. So price can go down. We do not know. On the 1 minute, it's changing. It's very volatile, up, down, everywhere. So we have to draw constantly. But if we always stay on the 1 minute, we are not looking at the overall bigger picture on the chart of what is going on. We can't tell. So let's get a trend line going. As I mentioned, a trend line is very, very subjective. Even on a 1 minute, it's extremely subjective. Some people can draw here, can start drawing here. Who knows? Best to draw the trend line on the larger time frame, especially on the hourly, to reduce your risk in trading. Also, I advise you guys to use 1% risk. It helps a lot with your psychology in trading. I used to actually use 3% risk. So with using a 3% risk, it actually takes me, let me get a calculator out. 100. Let me get the calculator. So with a 3% risk, it takes me about 33 trades, 33 wrong trades to grow my account. But what if I use 1%? 1% risk, it helps with my psychology a lot. 1% risk, I need 100 trades to grow my account. It helps a lot with your psychology. You will not be revenge trading as much, and even up 5% a week is a lot already. 5% a week is a lot. Because banks, they only give you like 1 to 2% per year. Imagine you're getting, let's say you trade it right, your account is up 1% for that week. You have already beaten the banks. They take 1 year to give you 1 to 2%, and you did it in 1 week. Just always remember, risk is important. If you blow your entire account, please do not do that. I've blown multiple accounts in the past. Revenge trading with a bad psychology. Please actually calculate your risk. So let's say you have a $1,000 USD account. You want to risk 1%. Risk 1%. So it will equals to $1,000 divided by 100 equals $10 risk per trade. So how do we calculate the pips? The stop loss or pips, your stop loss, the number of pips. So let's just give an example. Let's say I wanted to buy here. Let's say, okay, I close this up. Let's say I wanted to buy here with stop loss below. How do I risk 1% on it? 1%. So right here, you can look. There is a 29.7 pip, but do account for the spread. So I'll take it as 29.7 pip plus the spread. So let's euro-dollar has relatively low spread. So we can maybe choose 1 pip max, 1 pip spread plus the commission of 1 pip. So this adds up to, I'll round it up, around 29.7 to 30. So it equals to 32 pips. So how do we find the lot size for this? Okay, I'll make it bigger. Okay, maybe a $10,000 account. Easier to calculate. So we have $100 risk per trade. Okay. So we get $100 risk divided by 32 pips. Get a calculator out. Let me check. 100 divided by 32. You get 0.31. 0.31 lot size. You will actually get this on your calculator, 3.125, but 3.125 divided by 10. So you get 0.3125, but MetaTrader, we can only go to lowest 0.01. So we get the 0.31. Round it up. Round up to 2 decimal places after you divide by 10. So our lot size will be 0.31 lots on a $10,000 account, only risking 1%. So let's take a look. So let's say price goes all the way down, create my stop loss. I would have only lost 1%, maximum $100. When I first started trading, people actually told me for any single trade that you do, use the same lot size. So I was actually doing one lot on every single trade that I was doing. So let's say if I actually did one lot here, all the way down 29.7 pips with combined 32 pips, total I would have lost $320 if I use the same lot size for every single trade. Example, one lot, 32 pips equals to 32 times $10 per pip equals to $320 loss. Take a look. With risk management 1%, I will only lose maximum 1%. Instead of this $320 loss, which is equals to 3.2% of my account. As I mentioned, 33 wrong trades, I blow my entire $10,000 account. Risk management is very important. So I really stress to you guys, please try out risking only 1%. Okay. Let me move on. You guys, please screenshot if you have to. Please screenshot. Please screenshot. I'll give you guys some time. Moment. Okay. Let's move on to another currency pair. If you guys have any currency pair that you would like me to take a look at, or if you guys have any losses in the past that you would like me to look at, I can give my take on it or my personal opinion. Okay, let's take a look. We can take a look at Aussie dollar, maybe at Aussie dollar. We take a look first for hours. Okay, it's very strong. Let's take a look whether there's any trend line to be drawn. Any trend line. Okay, we have one. Pretty nice one. Okay, we can actually draw this. Okay, this is let me adjust it. 1 hour. Okay, we don't see it on the 1 hour, so it's invalid. It's invalid. Let me draw on this. Okay, we have potentially a long on Aussie dollar. A potential long. This is not a signal, I repeat. Okay, so right now we have the hourly trend line. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches. Price has already broken up. And right now, this is a live market, Aussie dollar. Price seems to be testing the trend line. So let's say that, let's give an example that let's say I already entered here. My stop loss, a safe stop loss would be all the way down below. So maybe my take profit might be at the first resistance line, 1 to 1.23 risk to reward ratio. Okay, this is the Aussie dollar. We are looking live. Let's go down to the smaller time frame, 15 minutes. On the 15 minutes, potentially what we can look out for. Okay, personally, for my personal trading method, what I like to look out for on the M15 is for price to break of market structure. Break of market structure. This is actually part of smart money concepts. So I usually wait for break of market structure. I want to break it once, goes up, goes down, goes up, break twice, goes up, and then I find a retracement entry. So let me give an example, a possible example on the Aussie dollar, on the M15 chart. So with this there, it might be a possible long, who knows? Okay. Okay, what we have here, this area, this looks nice. This area looks nice. Okay. So what I like to see, price has broken structure once. This is broken structure once. On the small time frame, 15 minutes, price broke, went up, price went up. So I will have already drawn, yes, broken market structure twice. So how do we get this entry? For smart money concepts, I'm just sharing a small little glimpse into my personal trading style. I can't thank you more enough than this risk management quick walk around. No problem. Please use 1%, please. It will help you a lot with your psychology. So when you get a losing trade, you feel more relaxed compared to a 3% loss. Can you get a take at the equity market? Maybe Nasdaq in the midst of this confirmed high inflation, possibly recession fear. Okay, I just get through this first. How I will have entered. So for smart money concepts, break of market structure once, twice, I would have found a market imbalance at this area. That's how I would have entered. I will have entered with my entry here, stop loss at the bottom, or possibly even lower. Okay, this is just a glimpse into smart money concept on my personal trading style. Okay, I'll take a look at the Nasdaq. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, let me look at the daily. What is going on with Nasdaq? I don't trade Nasdaq, so let me take a look. Okay, so what we have right now on, let me check the monthly. Okay, there seems to be some sort of area here. Tries to reach. Weekly. Okay, price seems to be trying to get to the previous low. So we can possibly look for Nasdaq to clear this area. On the weekly, daily, same thing. There is an area. This low. That price is looking good. And try to clear this low. Okay, then we are actually on a very, very bearish market. It's since 16 August earlier this year. Let me draw a trend line. Trend line. Okay, what we have? Nice trend line. 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches, and 4 touches. Okay, this confirms the bear market structure. I also don't trade equity Nasdaq, but it gives a summary of market economy movement, I think. Yes, okay. Well, if you do want to know about the economy movement, what you can do is, that's what I've been personally doing. This is my side project. I'll let you guys know a glimpse of it, what I'm roughly doing. So right now, I'm trying to get, if I want to get the market economy movement, what I'll look for is the GDP, CPI, PPI, housing permits, and the central bank interest rates. All these few, what I like to do, what I'm actually doing, I actually took from Forex Factory. Let me take a look. Let me try to find yesterday. Okay, let me get the week for this entire month. Price settings. Okay. PMI. Let's find PMI. Okay, I'll get an example of US. Okay, let me filter it out. None, only US dollar. Okay, for non-farm employment change, what I actually kind of like to do is I grab all the data, all the previous data, more. I get it all the way back. I collated the data all the way back to maximum allowed. I copied it all. I put it on Google Sheets. Like all these kind of things. This is just an example. I actually have more. So I put it on Google Sheets. I sort it out from 2012 to current. And then I turn it into a chart. So I will get a rough idea of how the market is doing from 2012 to before COVID. Multiple charts. So from 2012 to before COVID, I can actually get a rough average of how it was like before then, whether the market is stabilizing or not. Before COVID or from COVID period, March to 2020 to current, or I can even add in the Russian war. All these are the data are sorted out in charts individually on Google Sheets. So we have the Russian-Ukraine war, Feb 2022 to current. You can sort it out, and you can actually check the prices, and you can compare it to from 2012 to before COVID. Compare these few things out. You can get a rough gauge on the overall market condition. And why housing permits are very important. This is something that I feel is valuable information. So when do banks lend money to people? Why the housing permits are important? Why housing permits are important. Why? Why is it important? And housing permits is actually an indicator on how the banks actually see the economy. So banks, let me change the color, banks, orange, change the color, 16. Okay, banks, and we have the contractors who build houses. And next, we have the people who are going to lend money. Most people lend big money from the bank for mortgage like me. Yes, but why do housing permits play a part in how we actually see? Okay, let me rephrase it. Why are housing permits important? And we can actually use this to gauge how the banks actually see the current economy. And banks will only lend money to people. Let me draw out this triangle. They will only lend money to people and earn back money from interest rates if the banks know that the people are able to pay them back. So people actually lend money from banks and are able to pay back. And then let me draw a nice house. Okay, let me draw a house. Okay, my drawing isn't that good. So we have a house. Then people can buy the house. For contractors, they lend money from the banks and then they build the house. And they apply for housing permits. That is where housing permits come in. Housing permits. This is where housing permits come in. Let me draw it out in red. 14. Okay. They apply for housing permits to build houses. So an indicator is all this must make sense. So people are able to pay back and the contractors can find buyers to buy the houses. Only then banks will be willing to lend money. How do we see that? Housing permits. If the housing permits start to increase, the banks are more confident of the economy. If you see the housing permits go down, banks are less willing to lend money and they think that the economy is bad. So please screenshot this. It's a nice way to see how housing permits is an indicator for the way banks view the market. Okay. Please screenshot this. It's very important. Let me write it. I sort data. Sort data. So since you are in this, I'm still not knowledgeable in market economy. I really want to know the key driver. Why US inflation is so high, and more importantly, it kind of manipulates. Because majority, as you can see, all the currencies, they are pegged to the US dollar. They are pegged to the US dollar. Key driver of why US economy inflation is so high. I got to be honest with you, I'm currently still working on it. As I mentioned, I'm currently still sorting out data. I'm halfway through it. So maybe during the next webinar, if I get my data sorted out, I hope I'm able to answer you regarding this. I'm still sorting it out. I'm usually a very, very technical person, but ever since I heard about okay, let me rephrase it. Ever since I met someone who is very good in fundamentals, I've been learning from him. So he has actually taught me all this, and I'm giving this kind of information to you guys. I really do hope to answer that question in the future once I sort out my data. Okay. If there are no other questions, we have come to the end of this seminar, and I would like to thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me. My name is Chen Yongjing, and have a good day.